Hi everyone, it's Maggie, and I wanted to share my finished fabric book with you. I just finished it this morning, and I thought I would share it with all of you. If you watched at least one, I think I had one live where I was working in it, and also yesterday I put up a video of um, how I make the base of my fabric books. And I am turning it into a series of a start to finish. So I'm hoping this afternoon I can do the first part where I actually start to do something with the book. So I hope you'll all follow along with me and that you get inspired to try one yourself if you haven't made one yet, because they really are simple. And once you get started, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, let me show you. This is the front cover, and all the images are of vintage ladies wearing hats. And I used seam binding to tie it together. Okay. I went around the image with, well, actually, I went around the whole perimeter of each page with a trim, and then finished off the trims with something else. And then I added a doily and then the image, and the image has some batting underneath of it. And then I just went around the image with different pieces of applique and trims. There's a trim on the bottom and these appliques, and this had, I think the middle had little sequins, and I took those out and added bling. And then this applique is part of a larger one that I cut up to fit, and then I used the rest of it in the middle of the book on another page, which you'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so that's the front cover, and then you open it up, and the first page is a pocket page, and I used a vintage hanky that I I folded up to fit the actual page. And I wanted all of this beautiful, I'm not sure if it's like a crochet or what it is, but it's so tiny and I wanted it all to show. And it looks like different layers. So I didn't do anything else to that. I just added a butterfly in the middle and more of this trim from the front on top of it to finish it off. And then here's the first image inside, and underneath is a white Battenberg doily, which I don't know, it might be hard to see the details of it because it's white against white. And I tried to bring out the colors in the image. There's blue, which matches this trim here, this flowery trim. And then it goes into like a green, teal, and then greenish. So you'll see some teal. And the only green I had were these little clay flowers. So I added those. And there are other colors too. There's a little bit of yellow in there. So I had some yellow clay flowers and some pink. And then here's more, a little bit more of that trim to tie the pages together. And then these tiny little flowers with some really tiny little flat back pearls in there. And then here's a piece of an applique here with the flower. The coral flower underneath was a little bit dark, but I wanted the color. So I added the white on top of it just to take away some of that dark color. And then here's another piece of an applique that I added a rhinestone button to, some leaves. And then you open it up, here's the middle two pages. And because of the spine, I added this vintage trim in the middle just to kind of finish it off. And then on this page here, I tried to bring out the color this color here, but the only thing I had that actually fit that color was tiny little pieces of these little flower clusters um, of the same color. I I couldn't find anything else. I had some peacock trim, applique trim that I tried to cut up, and it just didn't look right, so I nixed that. But anyways, I went with kind of a half frame with this trim here. This trim I fussy cut. It was all one piece, and I just fussy cut it to look like a trellis. And then I added the clusters and then these little acrylic flowers with the rhinestones. And then there's a couple more over there. These are flower appliques, different appliques. And here's another rhinestone bling in the middle of that flower. It had a pearl, but I took it out just for something different. And then here's the next page. And again, the only green I had were my little green clay flowers. So I tried to bring out the different shades in the background, the shading around her and the brown um, from her hair. So this is another Battenberg doily, and I added this trim that I cut down. And if you watched my live when I was working on it, I did work on this page and the other page there. These flowers here are from a trim um, that I got by the yard, and more clay flowers. This is an applique that I cut down just to fit the image. And then these are appliques. This is a full one, but I cut these others down just to give it some more depth. And here's some more of those little flowers. And I added this larger rhinestone piece in the middle. And I forgot to show the trims on the other page, but you can see that I added different trims on each page. And then here's the last image. And she was the hardest because of the yellow in her hat. And I didn't think I even had any yellow. I've never even used yellow before, I don't think. But I did have this one trim, and I've had it for years, and it was from Artie, One Little Dreamer, and I cut it down, and I add little lavender acrylic flowers I had, because there is some lavender, there's some pink, there's some peach in all the flowers on her hat. So I tried to bring out some of those colors. And then there's more flower appliques, and here's the last of that applique from the front cover that I had cut down. And this applique, it's from Crafty Me Shop on Facebook, and I think it's probably my favorite applique that I've ever had so far. So that's this page. Oh, and the doily. It's a really old doily that I've had. I hoard a lot of my doilies, but I'm trying to use them. And then here's the last page, and it's another pocket page. And this is a piece that I folded in half, and I had to cut down, though. It was like a small runner that might have been on a dresser or a table. And then I added this little flower cluster. Here's a rhinestone in the middle. And I put this trim to finish it off. And I hope you can see there's this, it's just beautiful, these leaves and the vines and the flowery pieces there. It just added to the pocket, I think. And then there's that trim again to cover the, or finish off the top. And then here's the back page. And I left this just the way it is. There's no point in really putting anything on the back, because most likely whoever it goes to will just probably have it sitting like that. And so I don't usually put anything on the back. And then just the tie, seam binding tie, and that's it. That's the finished fabric book. I hope you like it, and I hope you'll watch the series and be inspired to make a book, because That's my whole reason for doing these videos. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye for now.